Good evening, good morning, good late evening to some of the folks from Asia as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Uh, Tips and strategies to ace your PMP exam in 2025. Yes, better late than never is what I would say. Yeah, if you can start off soon and aim to complete it sooner, nothing like it. Very soon you will have a new guide, the PMBOK guide 8th version as well. So yes, that's the big news, right? That will also come about. So I would say get on to your journey. And today I will try and spell out a few things which are very essential, I would say, as part of your PMP learning journey. Okay, certification journey, if I may call that. And secondly, it's important also for me to address some of the questions that will come about. So I will time the session in such a way that you have enough, opportunity to ask questions as much as possible. I will respond. There is, of course, a lot of information available on the PMI website. Plus, the upGrad KnowledgeHut folks will also help you out if there is something that remains unanswered, right? A brief about me, other than what was mentioned. I was in the industry for about 3 decades, finance, IT services, program project management. I started off my project management journey about 19 years ago. I have been teaching PMP, SCP, etc. For the last 10 plus years. And I have seen the evolution of the exam from the 5th. In fact, when I gave it was a 3rd version. So really now we are in the 7th. And the exam has evolved a lot. So I would say a lot many more things have changed. And uh, some of them I will talk about today, right? Currently, I'm an entrepreneur, and if you would love to connect on LinkedIn, nothing like it. Yeah. Yes, this is the agenda for today. The welcome, the introduction is over. This is that thing that you should aspire for. On the right hand side, this is the badge. Once you pass the exam, this is something that you will, get from the PMI, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about how this whole exam is structured, what really is required, etc. Yeah. Okay. Um, if you really look at the original reason for the project management certification exam, you have to go many years ago, maybe 50 to maybe 50 56 years ago, when PMI was formed in 1969, right? And the whole need for project management as a profession, right? And let me bring you a different aspect today: the project economy. Okay, everything around us is built on projects, right? Organizations execute strategies through projects, and therefore the whole concept of project management no longer is that it is part of a general management activity, but it has taken its own shape in terms of a separate profession, right? And therefore the need for a separate certification. Over the years, of course, there have been different certifying bodies that have come up with different certifications. Prince 2 is a project management certification in the UK. It is practiced more in the UK and Netherlands to some extent. Across the world, if there are such projects driven by those folks. Otherwise, world over, uh, PMI's PMP, Project Management Professional Certification, is considered a benchmark in project management knowledge and expertise, right? So therefore, This exam is not going to be any different, isn't it? It's going to test everything that you have in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your expertise at work, both theoretical knowledge and practical application of it. I will also talk about a little bit about the way in which the exam is structured. But before that, let me kind of bring you some information around what really is the composition of the PMI project management theory as of today. The focus is on three important domains, and I will show that to you a little later as well, but I want to bring that to context and then come back to the exam part. The three important domains, they are called the performance domains. The first one, people, which relates to the power skills that an individual can acquire and demonstrate. Power of influence, power of interaction, power of engagement. The second one is process or ways of working. How do I set up a certain structure to what I am doing? How do organizations enable processes so that work can happen in the organizations in a certain way? What is that which I can tweak and fine tune in my project so that work can happen faster, maybe at an efficient manner, etc. So that's part of the process. And the third one is business environment or business acumen. What is it around the project? What is the knowledge around the project that we need to acquire, that we need to have in order to achieve the goals of the project and also to fulfill the objective that the business gave us, right? At any point of time, the business leaders, they would have certain strategy, certain vision for the business. And based on that, some work has to happen in the organization so that we reach that destination. And that work can be executed through programs, projects, etc. So really, at a project level, we are looking back to that business direction, that business objective, and seeing, okay, is this something that we can achieve through this project? What is it that we need to focus on? And what are the different concepts in a business that we need to be aware of? Very simply put, do I understand the finances of this company? Where are they heading? Are they loss making? What are they really trying to achieve? Reduce their costs. Okay, through these efforts, through these initiatives. What if they want to increase their market share? What kind of projects are they going to put in place? What if they want to become the best in a product that they are selling currently? What kind of innovation they would want to bring? What kind of R&D projects they will put in place, therefore? So really, as a project manager, as an individual who is going to be called an expert in this area, these three areas form the whole aspect of PMP knowledge and PMP certification. People and power skills, process and ways of working, business environment or business acumen. With this put together, it is also important that you have good amount of knowledge on project management. I'm sure some of you will have those questions today that, how many years of experience do I have? What is, should I really be, having so that I can take up the exam? What kind of experience is required? I am from a particular domain and so on and so forth. So yes, the current syllabus or the current theory of project management and the basis for the exam based on the last few years is really around project management in any field. However, there is a slight focus towards software development as well. Now, the reason being that PMI also has one more certification called the PMI construction professional. The concepts of construction management and the concepts of construction project management are covered in that exam. That leaves us with, let's say, other areas where projects are normally used or used as ways of delivering strategy. And mostly we find that technology is one area where projects are very much useful in order to deliver the goals in terms of a service or in terms of an application or whatever that could be. Therefore, currently the focus is around that. However, as we see so many changes happening around us in terms of technology and artificial intelligence and generative AI taking its place to a large extent, I'm sure that in the coming version of the Guide to the PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge, you will start seeing some aspect of the newer technologies also and projects around that. What could be some of the best practices that are out there? PMI has its own way of structuring how projects are managed and delivered. And that essential is the part of this exam. Let us move to how do you then take this exam and what really needs to be your focus. Very importantly, of course, studying, right? Reading up a lot of material, no doubt about it. Like I said now, the scope is a little wider, no longer are one or two books or content enough. The exam is about different concepts around project management. So you will have to kind of look at different materials, look at the pmi.org website, the material provided by upGrad KnowledgeHut, the material provided as a learner to you from PMI. All of that will be useful. But apart from that also, your own knowledge, right? So therefore, practice analyzing different project scenarios. How do you analyze scenarios? You can go back to your workplace, look at how people are managing, look at what they are doing, how they are making decisions, etc. Right? That can give you a basis for how things are done and done successfully. Although remember that many organizations customize the way they run projects. So really, not all of that can be incorporated in the theory, isn't it? But it at least gives you an idea about, okay, in such scenarios, this is what is expected to be done. And you can validate that by reading the theory that is provided to you and the material that is provided to you. I think the important part here is about project management principles, right? That is the core basis of the learning. Based on those fundamental principles, when you build your knowledge, is when you become equipped to take the exam. Of course, it is also important to practice questions. You will be given a set of mock test questions. Remember, I'm hoping that most of you who are here today would want to give the exam and also successfully clear the exam. One thing that you must remember is the fact that the ethical conduct from PMI directs you not to share any question that has appeared in the exam, which means that really nobody has a clue to what questions are out there, which are there in the exam versus what is out there in the open wide world. But does it make things difficult? No, not at all. It's not about whether the same question is available somewhere else. It's about the concepts that you should be able to understand and should be able to apply in answering that question. That is important. And therefore, as many questions as you practice, wherever you find in terms of the mock questions given to you and the tests given to you, if you are able to practice them well and secure high marks in that, you should be fairly confident of taking the exam and clearing it successfully. Like I said, not to share those actual questions. That's the important part. But equally true is you can always practice based on the theory and scenarios that are given out to you. What is also important, I will tell you, is this is not a typical exam where you write theoretical answers to every question, right? There is a certain format, and I'll go through that as well. So what happens there is you need to make sure that you are able to understand and visualize the scenario and then pass the exam. All of that points to your problem solving skills. What is the problem here? What is it that is really happening and how to solve it? That is the key. Yes, it is very important to manage time. In fact, one of the concepts in project management is time management, schedule management, right? And therefore, this exam can be attempted at one sitting based on your stamina. But if you don't have it, then you are going to be in trouble. And therefore, it is important that you take 2 full-length practice exams under timed conditions to build that stamina and get used to the exam format. The first time you are uncomfortable sitting for those 4 hours. The second time you are now aware, right? Oh yes, I need to do this, I need to do that. And of course, the time that you want to give the exam, you are mentally and physically prepared as well. During the exam, and I will explain that to you, there are a couple of breaks available, and those should be used to recharge, to get your focus. You're concentrating for so much time, and then go back and attempt the remaining part of the exam. This is applicable in your actual final certification exam. In your practice exam, you can pause at any time and get up and go and do whatever you want, right? But that cannot happen here. There are scheduled breaks, and I will talk to you about that in some time. So really, going back to the part about the exam and the intent, right, of this certification, what all is covered? If I were to summarize it for you, yeah, one is that there are diverse project management frameworks that are part of the theory. Predictive, which means we know what the requirements are, and we will be able to deliver the project based on the requirements. Adaptive, I don't know the requirements. We don't know what the customer wants. The customer doesn't know what they want. So we continue to discuss, evolve the requirements, work on a prototype, show them. That is adaptive, right? You continuously work and build it. Hybrid could be a mix of both. On a higher level, it is a predictive kind of a project. Internally, you could run smaller stints of, or we call sprints, right, in Agile world, and make sure that the project is delivered appropriately. What type of industry information is covered? Well, to be honest, this certification is industry agnostic, so really it doesn't matter. But the questions could be about somebody, making some product, or somebody, creating some service, etc. Right? And then the question around the project and its different aspects will flow. It is also important, this certification, right, from a perspective of how do you use it at workplace? Yes, you have got a certification, very happy. What do you do really? Well, do you use the same practices that were given to you as part of the theory? Or do you go back and you forget everything that was done and then you continue to do things your own way? Well, I would say neither of them, right? The idea is for you to really grasp the content, complete the examination, and become a more learned person, a more experienced person, in now saying, okay, I will choose this way of working so that it will help to speed up my project and deliver my project much better. I will use these few techniques and explain that to my other colleagues, etc., so that we are all able to do the projects better. So really, the exam and the certification is focused around how you can now tailor and bring about different ways of working, which are in line with project management best practices and principles. Some of the important roles that you will continue to see in the exam, and of course when you have some questions, etc. To be around project manager, agile project manager, project team, project sponsor, PMO, etc. The reason I'm calling out that is that if you are not familiar with project management concepts, then I think you shouldn't be giving the exam. Yeah, I'm very clear. But if you are familiar with the concepts, but you are not so familiar with some of the roles and responsibility, then I think it is important for you to revise, go through them, understand what the real roles and responsibilities of these few, entities are. Right? It's very important for you to be clear of the fact what role one is playing and how do they execute their role, what is their responsibility, etc. I'm sure you heard of the RACI metrics, right? RACI, similar to that, right? It's important for you to understand from all perspectives about the different people who participate and make the project a success. Coming to the exam format, right? This is important, isn't it? 180 questions, that's a lot, isn't it? 230 minutes to complete the exam. In addition to that, you will have two optional 10-minute breaks. When you go to the center, after a certain point, the exam will submit and you will get a 10-minute break, right? Now, it is important for you to use that break instead of continuing to sit in that place because you would have spent some mental energy, physical challenge, right, in terms of sitting there at one place. So you would want to utilize that and then go back and attempt the exam. Which type of questions normally come? So I thought I'll just list down, right? Multiple choice, single response, A, B, C, D, you select one. Multiple choice, multiple response, select any two. Select all those apply, right? That kind of a question. Matching, you'll be given, the question will have two columns, you will have to match B against A, right? Remember our school days, we could draw a line here, A to E, 1 to E, 2 to C, etc. Something like that, yeah? It's fun doing the exam, I'm telling you. Matching, hotspot, most possible answer, right? Most relevant answer. That kind of rearranging, okay, of the answers so that the highest answer, the nearest possible answer will get the score. And of course, fill in the blanks. Interestingly, when I gave the exam, we had only this, the first one. Over the years, you are lucky, they have made it easy for you. Yeah. And to the right hand side, do you see the pie chart? Well, of course, don't worry, it's not in the same, the same size as the percentage there. But the idea is, okay, I think something got deleted. Don't worry here. People domain, process domain, and business environment domain, right? So people domain is 42% of the questions. Process domain is 50% of the questions. Yeah. Which means how are things done, isn't it? And business environment domain is 8%. But you never know, right? Those questions, if they are tough, so you have to understand. You have to understand businesses around you. You have to say, okay, yeah, you know what? If a question comes, if they're talking about R&D, okay, where does R&D happen? That kind of a thought process. Yeah. What are the new focus areas? Yes, I thought I should also bring this to your attention. Very important in today's world. The agile hybrid ways of working is one area that is important in the exam. Predictive model also, because typically projects are delivered, in the two ways, right? Either a predictive or adaptive. Team building and management is also one area to focus on, right? Whenever you read the theory, etc., this is important. And of course, managing customer and their requirements. Yeah, this is key. The eligibility criteria, if you have a secondary degree, which means if you don't have a bachelor's degree, then you need 5 years of experience. But if you have, one second, but if you have bachelor's degree, then you need only 3 years of experience. But this degree is 4 years, right? A 4-year degree, if you have, then it is 3 years experience. If it is not a 4-year degree, then you need 5 years experience. So in India, typically engineers have a 4-year degree. So for you, for engineering students or engineering graduates who are here, you will need only 3 years of project management experience. For the rest of them, you will need a 5 years experience. And of course, this is and you will also need 35 hours of project management formal training. Okay. This is the path to your exam success, the instructor-led training, having a study plan, practicing with the, there is a premium 2000 plus question bank which you can, get for yourself, do the mock tests, do the exam simulator. As much practice is required is part of this, yeah, right, isn't it? Yeah, it's covered here. And of course, then, you'll be happy to get that badge which I showed you in the beginning. Yeah. Right. So I will pause here, right? And I will see if there are any questions.
There
Okay.
are two, three
Could,
questions in the chat
yeah,
box.
yeah, sure, yeah. I have a couple of them in front of me. I will read that. Let me see. And there is a Q&A also. Sir, can senior QA engineer with 14 years of experience give this exam? Yes. If you have a part of it as a project management experience, if you can, make sure that you code project management or project being part of a project, nothing like it, right? Because the idea here is, see, you are giving a project management professional certification exam, right? So you have to demonstrate that ability that you have led projects or been part of a team that has led the projects, right? So that I think is key here. Okay. Could you elaborate on predictive? Predictive. So, Kaustubh, so for example, let's say we want to build a three-story house, right? What are the requirements in building a three-story house? That you need to have a piece of land, that you need to excavate the land, that you need to put in the foundation, then start ground up, right? Ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, etc., and go up. Have all of the construction work done, electrical, plumbing, all of that. Isn't that predictive? You are clear, right? What's going to happen? There is a plan in place. The requirements are clear. You don't change. Oh, no, don't put a terrace right now. Do it this way. Do it that way. That doesn't happen, isn't it? Predictive is therefore it's predictive, right? Adaptive is where, let's say a customer wants you to build a website. Okay. So is it possible? Immediately they tell you, oh, my website should look like, which is the company? Maybe let me see. upGrad's website. How can you do that? That's copyright violation, isn't it? No, make it something similar to it. See, there is already some kind of ambiguity, something similar. So that's where the challenge is, right? So ideally, the way we look at adaptive is where the requirements are not so clear, but they will come about as we and continue to evolve as we talk to the customer and get it started. Yeah. Okay, how do I prove my 36 months of project management experience to achieve eligibility? Jason, if you have 36 months of project management experience, you don't have to prove anything. You just have to let them, update the exam application form. And if the whole description, etc., is valid and true with all the information around the email IDs, of people, contact persons, if you are able to provide to them, you will clear the first, the eligibility part of it. If there is a doubt in PMI's mind, they will they will audit your application and they will send you an email or they will send you that, okay, now prove this, right? So you have to go back and fill up some forms, get the signatures of the people that you are going to refer to and submit it. If PMI is happy with that, fantastic. Go ahead and give the exam. If not, then maybe you have to try next time. Yeah. Where can I get the training hours? Please give some. So Sangeeta, upGrad is your place. Please contact upGrad KnowledgeHut. Yeah, you are here today. Please contact them, and you will get the training hours. They will give you all the information on training hours. Well, Scrum defines only 3 roles. Does PMP hold true in Agile teams? Srinath, in 2025, we are talking about PMP certification already, right? Yeah. PMI just purchased Agile Alliance a few weeks ago. Well, as much as and look at this, right? Don't compare PMP with Agile. That's not what it is. Project management is key here. Whether you do a Agile based SDLC or you do a waterfall based, that is another part altogether. We are talking about fundamental project management concepts. which you will get through PMP. 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus masters. What is the minimum duration of project experience? 36 or 60? 60. Yeah. Do we need 36 PDU separately, or is it part of when do we study? See, Sunita, there is no such thing as PDU. Okay. PDU is when you become a professional development units. You are not a PDU. You are not a professional right now if you have not completed the exam. Right now, you need 35 learning hours. Okay. 35 learning hours will come to you when you register with upGrad and you say, okay, I want to do my PMP exam. You undergo that training course of 35 hours, and then you sign up for the exam and say, okay, this is what it is. Yeah. Okay, there's a question. Yeah, okay, this is answered, right? How do I prove? Okay, that's answered. Cool. Any other question from anyone?
I think we'll have some once you
Yeah,
finish
sure,
up,
sure. Yeah,
all
yeah.
your slides.
Yeah. Should Scrum Master apply for? Why not? If you want to learn something, Akshata, about project management, please do apply and get yourself certified. It will add value to your resume, no doubt about it. Yeah. So coming back to this the upgrade knowledge advantage, like I said already, the flow. You have complimentary self-paced course. You have 24/7 doubt clarification. You have mock tests. You have a free PMP exam simulator. As much as you can practice is available here. Yeah. Okay. This is the same information which I explained to you some time back. Look at this. You have 12 full-length tests. If you need premium exam questions, then you need to, of course, go back and purchase that. But that's another part of it. And workshops, of course, they will definitely happen. No doubt about it. That's the whole idea. 15 hours of contact, yes. If required, the step-by-step mentor led study plan is available, and so on. Right. For the product manager career path, would the ACP be recommendable over the PMP? Yeah, Mariela, that could be better. ACP is a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, that was a great session, Dr. Anand. Thank you so much for enlightening our audience today with all the great tips to close the exam, the PMP exam in 2025 with great success. I see